Last week, CNBC released its annual ratings of the best states for business, and once again, North Carolina was rated #1 in the United States. Let's unpack this a little. North Carolina was also CNBC's top state for business in 2022 and 2023, and we were a runner-up in 2021 and 2024, so they kind of love us. Governor Stein held this big event down in Wilmington with CNBC to announce the rankings. It got a huge amount of media attention, as this thing always does. I'm pretty sure this is AI, but even still, it's pretty cool. Now let's start with the obvious. It is a great thing that North Carolina is a business-friendly environment. We want businesses to come here and invest in our state, hire our people, and of course to start and grow businesses here too. Maybe that's not popular with everybody, but I want businesses to come to North Carolina and build and grow and innovate and employ lots of people so that we can build strong communities. But there's also some important context behind a big splashy headline like this. First, just because North Carolina is a top state for business does not mean that our economy has been exceptionally strong. In fact, if you look at most major economic indicators over the last 10 years, you'll see that North Carolina has basically tracked the national average. We actually underperformed South Carolina. So in other words, North Carolina's economy has grown because America's economy has grown as a whole and not because of exceptional performance. Next, being the top state for business mostly means being the top state for business owners and not necessarily the people who work at those businesses. There is no guaranteed paid time off in North Carolina, no guaranteed sick leave. Our state minimum wage is only $7.25 an hour. Wage theft is very common, especially if you're an hourly worker. And if your boss does cheat or abuse you, it's very difficult to get any help because workplace protections are almost non-existent, and the State Department of Labor is on your boss's side. Ironically, those are some of the reasons why North Carolina is a top state for business. Some of the other reasons are honestly just geography. North Carolina is the 9th biggest state by population, and we're still growing. So if you are selling stuff, it's a good place to be. We're also a 6-hour drive from 60% of the total U.S. population. So if you're manufacturing or distributing or exporting anything, North Carolina is a no-brainer. There is obviously some overlap between what is good for business owners and what is good for business employees, and you need to strike some balance between the two. Unfortunately, that is not how CNBC's ranking works. In fact, there's not many people at all ranking states on whose business climate produces strong families and communities, because that's just not what CNBC's advertisers are interested in. So look, it's great that North Carolina is a good state for business, but that doesn't mean nearly as much unless we're also a good state to work in.